This tutorial is to show you how to use Padlet. I've done some previous tutorials on Padlet, but they've actually changed their interface and how they look, so I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of go over it again and show you where they put some of those features and some of the new features that they've added. Padlet is probably my most favorite app ever, and one of the reasons is because students don't need to create an account. It's totally free. When you sign up, you will see that they have something called Backpack, but it's not necessary. You don't really need to pay because the free version does plenty for your classroom, and it'll just work just well. So first thing to do is you need to sign up if you don't have an account. I have one, so I'm going to log in. And this is my dashboard because I already have some Padlets created. We're going to start from scratch, so I'm going to start a new Padlet. So if you haven't done any Padlets yet, yours is going to be blank, but your dashboard is where you can find everything that you've created, all your apps. That's where you can always go back and get the links. So if you notice over here, they have an iPad app, they have a Chrome extension, okay, and so this program can be used on any platform, whether it's a PC or Apple, and it works the same way. So we're going to create a new Padlet. And right away, something pops up here, Modify Padlet. So this is where you would change your name. They kind of default, this actually changes with everyone. Sometimes it says My Wonderful New Padlet. Sometimes, this one says My Stunning Padlet. So they just kind of pick a random background for you and a title. So let's change that title. And I'll just call it Practice for now. And down here is where you can put a description. So I'm going to say, for tutorial video. So there are three layouts that you can have with your Padlet. Freeform means that anywhere on the screen you can create a post-it or an entry. And it's going to be very random. You can move it around, but it doesn't follow any specific form. If you want grid, that'll make, you can see sort of, it's faint here, but that'll keep it a very organized grid so that as many posts as you put on here, it'll keep them all sort of in columns and rows and keep it very organized and straight. A stream is for a blog. So if you want to have something just going down the middle, think of Padlet, think of Google Classroom, think of Facebook, Twitter, they call that the stream. That's how it would work on here, and I'm going to show you how that actually looks. I'm actually going to pick a different wallpaper because this one's a little hard to see. So here are some other wallpapers, which is your background. I'm just going to pick something easier to see for now. And there's more of them there, so if you want to click down, you'll see a whole bunch more, and there's all different ones. And these are all free that you can pick. And they've added a few more from what they used to have. And you can add your own. So if you have your own picture you want to use as a background, you can always do that. So now I've picked my wallpaper, and I'm going to go back to this menu. Okay, and down here, premium plans, those are things that you can do if you do have the paid version. Okay, you can just have some different icons and things, but again, I don't think it's necessary for your use right now. This is where you can find this link. It's one place, it's in several places, but this entire link, or you can actually change the name here. So if you can see up here, the padlet.com, this is my username, and then / and it gives a random numbers and letters to what this actual link is. If you want to make it easier than just random numbers and links and know what the actual title is, let's say, this is a language arts class, and it's period 2. So maybe I'll call it LA period 2. Okay. Now, I'm going to go to next because there's more options for modifying. Okay, this is where you will find your privacy. So right now, you can make it totally private so that no one can see it. And down here they give you the descriptions. Okay, you can make it password protected, so even though students have the link, they would need a password. So that would be great, especially if you have different Padlets for each class. Maybe you have a different password for period 2 and then period 3 and so forth. Secret means anyone who has the link or QR code can access it. So there's also what they added in here is you can access this by QR code instead of having to go to the link. And totally public is just anybody can find it. Okay? So if you click on those, you'll see that the yellow, that's what's, and it'll give you the description. So public, anyone can access it. It'll appear in searches, so people can actually search for it. Okay? Secret, you have to have the link. Okay? Password protected. It tells you need the password. And totally private, only you and the people that you add. So if you have a small class, or maybe just the kids in your class, that's what you want to see. You can add contributors here. So you would have to add who those students are, and then they would need an account. So that kind of defeats the purpose of not having an account. So I think if you're concerned about anybody seeing it and you don't want it just public for anybody, I would either make it password protected or secret. Okay, so for now, I'm going to go with secret. Okay, this is where if you want to moderate the posts. So you as the admin have to see every single post that goes up there before it's published. So this might be better for younger students or even older students if you're concerned that they're going to put something up there that wouldn't be appropriate. So you would toggle that on here, and then you can just turn it off. So for now, I'm going to leave it off. And I'm going to go to my next options. Okay, and that's it. So now I want to start posting. Now you can always go back to those options if you're not sure what you want to do in the beginning or you want to change it later. So we're going to actually go back so you can see the different styles. So if you double click anywhere on this wall, that's how you make a posting. So I'm going to just double click and make a few so that you can see the different options for the layout. So I'm just going to call this test 1, and so I clicked out of it because you see there it kind of got a spot I didn't want to be. So if I highlight, you see this trash can will just get rid of it altogether, and it'll ask you if you want to get rid of it. I don't want to, but I do want to edit it. I want to go back in, so I'm going to click on this pencil, and it'll open up. Now I can type. So Padlet. And down here you have several options for attachments. Okay, so you can add an attachment, which is an audio file. You can add a video. You can add a file or a document. You can add a picture. And this is also like a Word document or a Google Docs. So these icons are all the same. You don't have to click on that certain icon to include what you want in there. You just click on any of them because then it'll bring up the box for all the attachments. Okay, so this is where you can put a link to any other website right here. This is where you can upload if you have a file or Google Doc or Word document or an article or something you want them to read. You can actually take a photo. There I am. And you can take a photo if you want. But right now, I want to actually upload. So I want to upload a photo that I already have on my computer. So I went into on my desktop, I have an images folder, and here's our avatars. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to attach it. It asks you, does it look good? Okay, you hit OK if that's the picture you want, and it'll add it down here. You'll notice there's this little X, so if you want to change your attachment, you would hit this X to get rid of just what your attachment is. This garbage can will get rid of the entire posting. So if you click off of it, and now you click back on, okay, just say you want to keep this, but you want to just get rid of the picture, you have to go into the edit mode, and now that X will come back. So I'm going to click in another spot, make another post. Okay, and I'm not going to add an attachment for now because it's the same process. Okay, so I want to get some post-its up there for you to see. And I'm just putting some random descriptions in there. Now you could see with your attachments, you know, a lot of different uses for, let's say you're doing a unit on certain animals and you want students to find a photo or, you know, a link to articles. I mean, this is endless for the attachments of what you can put up there. So let's go in and put another attachment. And I'm going to upload something else that I have. So I'm going to choose a file again. And some other photo I had. Now you can go outside of here. It doesn't have to be in your, you can go to Google Photos, but you do need to have it saved onto your desktop or your drive or however you can access so that when you go into the different files you can find it. So if you notice from there, you can't go in. I'll click on this one. You can't really search from within here. Okay, so you kind of have to have your resources available, so you would know your link ahead of time. You know, you would have your photos saved somewhere else. Unless you're just taking a photo, then you can do that right on the spot. So I have 3 posts right now, and if you go back over any of them, this one's still clicked, so I'm just going to click off of it. So if you hover over, you'll see your options to edit and delete come up for all of them. Once you hover over, if you click now and drag, this is how you can move it anywhere you want on the screen. So I'm going to kind of place them randomly so you can see what the different layouts do. So freeform is anywhere you want, so as new people come and post, they can click on the spot or move to wherever they want their items to be displayed. So I'm going to go back to my settings, and my layouts pop back up. So right now it defaults to freeform. If I hit grid, you'll see how they line up sort of nicely. So if you want them all kind of in a row, you can do that. If you hit stream, now it'll stream them up and down. Just have to get out of this so you can see the full. I want to keep. Didn't save it. There we go. And now I'm going to close it. So now you can see the stream, so it kind of mirrors a blog. So this would be a great way to do blogging with your students. Again, all they need is the link, and you can modify the posts before things are put up there. You can check into it. So right now I'm just going to go back to freeform, and I'm going to save it. So if you look up here next to your settings, okay, you can clone this Padlet. So say you are a teacher that teaches 5 periods of English and you want to have a similar wall, but you just want to change the title and sort of like making a copy. So you can copy everything when you clone it. So maybe you do want all of these posts on there, but I would think maybe for each class is going to be different. So maybe you'd copy without the posts. This way you can start from scratch. So you would have a wall, you can change your titles, and you can go from there. You can also share this Padlet. Okay, you share this. It brings up your privacy settings again. Okay, and if you click up here, you'll see you have the option to share or export. This is where you can get a QR code. So if you have an active board or some other display, you can just project this, and students, if they're using their own devices, can use a phone and go right here to get this. Use the QR code, and it'll bring them right to this wall. As you see, there are apps on the phone and Google Play for Android devices. Okay, you can copy the link to this Padlet, right? And the link is up here. It's the same link that you're going to find when we go into another section over here, but it's actually this link right here. That's all anybody needs to go to the Padlet. Embedding is an embed code. If you are putting this on a web page and you want this to be a smaller section showing on your web page, you can send the link by email, okay, and you can share on social medias. You can save this as an image if you'd like, okay, but then it's not a live document that people can post, because then it's rendered as an image, or a PDF, okay, or a CSV file. If you go to these 3 dots up here, it has a few more options. Some of them are the same. So this is where there's some tutorials and different things if you want to get some help. This is how you can invite people to collaborate. Okay, so if you add contributors by email, they would get an email saying you want them to post or contribute to your wall. You can share or embed, and that also, this link is the same share button that's over here. You can export. So again, it brings you into the share options. Okay, you can have this full screen. Modify is the same wheel that is over here to get into other settings. Clone is to copy it and to make a copy and maybe rename it. Clearing all posts will clear everything from this wall instead of having to go in individually and delete if you really want everything off this page. Sometimes you may have a link for a page, like a class page, and you're going to use that same wall all the time, and you don't necessarily need to keep all the posts. You just want to have your wall set up with that same link. You may want to do that. And delete would delete the entire Padlet altogether. This is your account. It's just kind of a default image here. So if you click on that down arrow, it'll bring you back to that home page. There's my name and my sign-on. This is where you can create a new Padlet. Your profile, so your information, you would click here. all of your Padlets, it tells you there, would be listed here. So this is sort of like a mini menu of your dashboard that we had seen in the beginning. If you go to Home, that'll bring you to that dashboard as well, okay? And that's where you have some settings and collaborators and the attachments and things like that. So Padlet is a great way of getting your kids involved, not having to set up accounts. It's very quick, easy. You could use it for blogging. You can use it for do nows. Here are some ideas. Something that I used as a do now in a social studies class. Just had 2 photos representing the American Revolution and asked the students to place a post here about similarities and differences. These are great for exit tickets. Quick, easy way, and it's saved so that if you want to go back and do something later with it, you can do that or grade it. Here's another activity I had where students had something to read, and they read it outside of Padlet, and then I asked them to do something on Padlet. Here's the directions, and you can see the kids kind of just posted there. So Padlet can be used in any subject, any grade. It's easy, it's fun, the kids love it. And if you'd like further practice helping set up Padlets or showing Padlet to your kids, just fill out a request form. We'd be happy to help you, and have a great day.